the right thing.
Destiny, did you help me like 5 years ago with DDoSing? Did you reach out to me? You did, right?
Yeah, that was like that was my entry contact to a lot of different people, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was getting DDoSed mercilessly, and you were, I think, ahead of me on the curve in figuring it out. So
yeah, because it was something I had to deal with it as well. Yeah, Jesus, oof, what a horrible fucking feeling.
Oh yeah, and it almost like I just mentioned ICE. Like, this was a big deal to me. It was my career, my finances, and it hurt my feelings. It sucked.
But the feelings, like, this is actually something that I don't know. Like, when I enter political rings, a lot of people make like hit piece videos about me that like take like clips of things I've said that are like really bad to show how fucked up I am. Mm-hmm. Like, one of the things that constantly gets used is the idea that like I wanted to kill the kid that DDoSed me, because he was DDoSing my video games. But like. That act of being DDoSed is so incredibly fucked. Like, I don't know how far it went with you, but I had like 3 separate interviews with the FBI and nothing came of anything. Like, I literally have a guy that's just pushing a button costing me thousands and thousands of dollars every fucking month. I've got a house. I've got a child to feed. I've got like real life bills to pay. This is my job. It's not like a fucking hobby. I don't do this for fun and then go do my real big boy job. Like, my life is literally being destroyed by a guy just DDoSing me and nobody fucking cares. And even law enforcement, I can't get anything done about it, right?
I couldn't get law enforcement to care about swatting me. Like, the SWAT team came out and we found the guy. Like, we found someone admitting to it on Xbox Live. We had their gamer tag. Yep. And I presented it to the detective and it was like,
Yeah, and I found
how would I crack that nut?
Yeah, I found the guy that was DDoSing me, and it didn't matter. None of it mattered. I was starting to spam call his house. I talked to his dad. I talked to some of his siblings, try to get this kid to fuck off or whatever. But literally nobody fucking cares. Like, not the smallest care in the world. The swatting
thing. They even looked into it, or they just were like, oh yeah, I bet. Go back
the thing was that like I noticed that after the first FBI interview, the second I said gamer, they were like totally checked out. The second time they came by. I tried my hardest to avoid gamer. Like, I think when they asked me what I did originally, I was like, I am doing like kind of like online entertainment and advertising alongside video distribution. I would like describe my career as things like that. But then they would kind of look at you sideways and be like, well, like, what specifically? And then once I would finally get out, like, well, I play video games online for people, I could tell that they were so fucking checked out of what they were in. And it's like, okay,
for mine, it seemed like they only existed.
Well, the woman we just spoke to was raped.
They only existed in the physical world. In my thing, like I went after people who they were DDoSing. I had a website called Huppet or something, and that used to get attacked a lot. And I talked to law enforcement, and it's like if they can't take fingerprints and like catch a guy running from a cop car, then it's just not their bag. That's not what they do. They don't hunt down anything. They can't read a log. They have no idea where to get started.
Yep. And it's like, it's so much work to go after some of these guys. Like, especially if it's like fucking international, you gotta like get Interpol or some shit involved.
Even if it's in the country.
Through, like, multiple fucking countries subpoenaing servers that might not even be the home country of the person did. Like, that fight, no one's gonna go through that effort. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's pain.
Could you take them to civil court if they were here in the U.S.?
I thought about doing that with my guy, and the lawyer said that it would cost me about a $50,000 retainer for the number of expert witnesses that I would have to bring in to explain everything to the jury, because you literally have to bring in like an expert witness to explain like TCP IP stacks, like the fundamental transactions of the internet, and then to bring in expert witnesses to explain all the like it was I would never get the money back. Yeah.
Woody would have done it for free.
How did it eventually resolve? Did he just stop doing it and get bored one day? Or
I did some training in Nebraska. I got my CCW. I have a beautiful Glock 17, and I was all suited up and ready to train. And then simultaneously, I was doing research on how to figure out how to stop DDoSes. And I happened to invent what became like the de facto DDoS protection guide for like the next 4 years on the internet as a result of my investigation. So thankfully, I didn't have to go to drastic measures, but yeah.
Well, and now you still have your gun.
Yeah, there we go. Now I just shoot for fun.
There you go.
Instead of...
We're very pro gun ownership.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was like the analogy that I try to give to, if you'd say normies or whatever, non-internet people, is like, imagine you woke up every morning and a guy is literally slashing your tires every single fucking day, and you can't get to work. Like, that's what DDoSing is. Like, every single day, a guy's just slashing your tires. You can't go to work, and it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, people always like, you want to do something to a guy because he's just fucking with your internet. It's like, dude, this is my job. I cannot work every single fucking day because some kid is bored. Like,
dude, so I used to have a Minecraft server, and the other Minecraft server owners hated me because I got mine popular very quickly. And they're like, oh my God, he's cheating. He just jumped to the front of the line. He hasn't put his time in. And I'm like, you're free to make 2,000 videos over the next 5 years if you want to. You know, like if I cheated, go take the same route. No, they don't want that. So they would DDoS me constantly. And I was like, fuck, like this doesn't happen in pizza. Right? They don't sit there and just throw bricks through your window every day and lock your doors.
Literally the mafia coming to shut down your fucking business, except no one cares about it. Yeah.
I had a fucking server owner, and I know the guy. He's I'm still not over it completely. He had a server in my, like, he got a server in the same place that I had my servers so that he didn't go through my DDoS protection. He would just DDoS me over the LAN. You know, like not even over the internet.
That's got to be detectable over like the fucking like over the LAN, right? Like
I know who it is, right? You know, like
well, I mean, like I'm surprised the actual LAN center.
It took them forever. They said I wasn't getting DDoSed. It's like, you stupid fucks. I paid $6,000 a month at the time for DDoS protection, and these stupid fucks and I'm like, I'm showing the is it the overruns? I forget when you look at the TCP/IP statistics on the network card in Linux, and I'm showing them like, look at this, like it's happening right now, and they're all just like, yeah, I don't know, we got nothing coming through.
Were you a little upset that you were spending $6,000 a month on something and still it wasn't working?
Because they were going around it by being on the same network. Sucks. Yeah, it was.
I had I had this problem with my ISP, and I live in the great state of Nebraska, in a city called Omaha. We don't have a lot of corn here, I promise. It's a real city. I have an ISP called Cox Communications, and for the longest time, I could not get a fucking stable connection to my house. I could not stream. And like my speeds that are at pink was like 100 down and 20 up or something, or 300 down and 20 up. Like 20 up is like what I should get. I don't even need all of that. I only need 4 to stream. 4 is more than enough, but I couldn't get it on any day. And I had to go like fucking Black Ops detective to try to prove to these guys that their nodes were oversold. So I put my thing on Smoke Ping, I think is what it's called, where basically you've got an external server that's constantly pinging you open like ICMP packets or whatever on your router, and you get pinged constantly. And you know, I would have these logs and I would show them every day, like, look, like my connection every time during peak hours is fucked. I'm getting massive packet loss. My ping times are horrible. And they were just like, oh, well, we can't do anything. You know, it's not us. It's probably you. And I remember one night I was like, this is ridiculous. So what I did was I run a trace route at home to find out like what my first hop was, that node. I drove around the fucking neighborhood with my laptop looking for unsecured routers. And I found 2 of them. And I turned on the ICMP packet receivers on both of them. And then I password protected them. And then I had my friend add those to the smokestack or the smoke ping or whatever, so that they were right next to my connection, and so I could show like, hey, look, like there are 2 other people in my neighborhood that are having these same fucking ping problems. What? And they're like, well, you know, we'll let you out of your business contract and we won't charge you a fee. And it's like, whatever, dude. So I had to like buy a whole separate house and fucking move to escape my horrible fucking
driving around the neighborhood at
I
night.
love this.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous. This is like 2 FCC complaints later, like fucking nothing. They rolled like 13 trucks out to my house in like a 11-month period, and they're just like, okay, dude. It's like I must have had the most perfectly wired house with like the best connections in the whole fucking neighborhood, but ugh.
Time Warner business connections were pretty legit.
Really?
Like,
you don't get an SLA with Cox, do you, with Time Warner?
I don't know if you do get an SLA, and if they don't meet it, they freaking solve it. Like there's people coming that day. When you call a separate support line for business customers, and this isn't racist to say, an American picks up the phone immediately with no hold times, who is an expert on the topic. You know, like that's what Time Warner
That's what you want,
business support was like. Yeah.
See, when my internet doesn't work, I unplug it and plug it back in, and a lot of the time that works.
I had a lady like. I know a decent amount about network. I'm not like a network engineer, but like just through the process of having to work with so much shit, I've learned a lot of shit. I had a lady on the phone where I call for my fucking computer problem, my internet problems. And this lady's like, okay, well, we're going to try something new. And I was like, thank God, I'm done. We've gone through all the bullshit. This lady is like, okay, so unplug the Ethernet cable out of the back of your cable modem. And I'm like, okay, I've done that. And she's like, okay, now I want you to unplug the Ethernet cable out of the back of your computer. And I'm like, okay, now what? She's like, take the Ethernet cable that was plugged into your cable modem and take that end and plug it into your computer.
Oh my God.
Dude, I almost fucking shot myself. I couldn't even believe. I've also gotten where I call in and they're like, unscrew the coax from your cable modem. Try flicking the line a few times. Sometimes static gets caught in it. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this is the dumbest shit I've heard my entire fucking life.
But you know,
Like,
there are
does the
plenty of
static
elderly
only act
people
up
like.
during peak hours? Like, how do?
Oh, I've been flicking it all day.
I licked
I just
it.
want to find my recipes.
My grandson said he sent me the photos.
If you blow on the other end, you can get the bad internet out.
Yeah, like seriously. Like I was
That's my
squeezing
favorite.
the fucking cable to squeeze out like the bad packets. Like
I've
holy
been
shit.
sucking it for hours.
Oh, that sucks.
That's why I
So
always
you
get really
literally
paranoid.
had to move houses.
Yep.
Because of this.
Yeah, they actually released me from my business contract without a fee, because they realized how fucked it was. Like I knew, like I was in contact with like the head of like the dispatch here and everything. Like I knew all the people, and like what they pretty much told me was that like he said he can't say the node is oversold for obvious reasons. That would be really bad, but more or less that was the problem. They oversold the node and they couldn't really guarantee the speeds they were advertising.